Hi, LindaBauwin here from StampingWithLinda.com, your cardiologist since 1997, helping you create cards from the heart. If you joined me on Friday, you've seen how I made this beautiful piece of paper with the Silver Embossing Paste. And so, as promised, I said I would be using this on my Creative Fold here on Tuesday. But first, let's work on some components of this Creative Fold. I have already taken the silver foil and used the layering ovals and cut that out. And I did an oval with the stitched shapes and cut that out of Whisper White. I'm going to go in and grab my rich razzleberry, and I am going to be using a stamp from the Petal Palette bundle. Oops. I am noticing I have had lots of complaints about the clear stamps not sticking to their block. Up north, when I'm up in Ohio, I have no problem with that. I am noticing down here in Florida, I am having a problem. So I'm wondering if it has something to do with the humidity. Which is a very good possibility. So let's see if I can get this to work. And if I don't, I know a way I can make it work. Up. I'm just going to flip that over. I'm going to set it down. Now I have been putting some glue on it, a non-permanent glue or a tape to hold my blocks to the stamp. Again, I do not have this problem in Ohio, so I'm thinking it has something to do with the humidity. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple dimensionals and I'm going to take that stitched oval and add it to my scallop oval with the dimensionals. And this is going to be on the front of my trifold card. So I'm going to just add that. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my paper piercing mat and use that to do some coloring. I have taken from the Petal Palette bundle, have stamped and cut out these flowers. Now I have a beautiful tutorial for this bundle. This month is a customer appreciation, and so check on my blog stampingwithlinda.com to see how you can get that exclusive bundle. Now what I am doing is I'm taking my stamping blends now and I'm coloring in those roses. If you have not used the stamping blends, you really need to give them a try. You know that I am not a fond person of coloring and shading, but with the blends that really allows you to add lots of color fast to your project. So I have used the Calypso Coral. And then what I'm going to do is bring in the rich razzleberry. You want to make sure those blends click and seal well. So I'm just going to go in now and color the bigger ones. I'm only going to color 2 roses on this one. So I'm going to cut that apart. So I've got that. I'm going to go in with the darker and add some shading. Again, you don't have to be an artist. Now I know a lot of you are great watercolor gals and know how to shade very well, but the blends make me feel like I am an artist when I blend with them. I'm now going to bring in my Old Olive blend. I use the Old Olive a lot because of all the leaves. And what's the thing nice, you don't have to buy our stamping blends. in the dual pack. You can buy them dual pack or you can buy them singly. So if you have a color that dries out quickly, usually it's the lighter color in a series, then you can just go buy that one color. So really like that. So I'm just adding some dark here, and then I'm going to go in with that lighter shade and blend it out. So it gives me very quick a two-tone look. I'm going to bring in my snips, and I'm going to cut part of this off because I just want 2 flowers on this one side. Something else you can do with your blends, I'm going to see if I can find my Wink Stella real quick for you. Let's see if it's in. Maybe I'm not going to find it, but I'm going to bring in the card that I did, and Wink Stella, you can see, just really adds some nice glimmer when you and shine to your flowers when you have used the Stampin' Blends. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this measures 5.5 by 9 3/4, and I am going to grab my Stampin' Trimmer, and I am going to score that at the 3 5/8 and the 7 15/16, and that's what's going to make my tri-fold card. I have done this fold before. I'm going to bring in that beautiful foil Specialty Designer Series paper, the Sweet 3A, that is in the Occasions catalog. This has the beautiful silver shimmer, and so it matches well with the silver foil, or the silver embossing paste that I used on the piece that I did on Friday. So I've got that. Just going to add that piece, and I see I have these just a hair short, but you're going to get the idea. These should be 5.5, and I've got them at 4 or 5 1/4. So I will show you my first card that I did. I'm going to bring in that piece of Razzleberry. This measures 3 3/8 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to add my adhesive to my card. And I see I made this short also. So I made those 5 1/4. So it did give me a nice little white border around there. I guess I did that on my original also. So I'll bring both of them in so that you can see. I'm going to take that scallop. And that silver paste looks so nice with that silver foil. Going to bring in my flowers. I'm going to add some dimensionals to pop that up. And add that. Right there. And then I'm going to go into the one that I have too, add a dimensional to that. One thing you want to remember with your stamping blends, they will bleed on the outside, so you want to plan accordingly. So there's the card, a trifold. Again, I cut this smaller, but here is the card that I did as a trial, and I made that designer series paper all the way to the end. So this measures 1 7/8 by 5 1/2, where here I did it as 5 1/4. But I think I like it all the way to the end better. But there you have a trifold card using that new silver embossing powder, embossing paste. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you real soon.